I knew I was gonna be excited to talk about this, but I'm feeling emotional. As you can see, I'm in a different room than I was in my last 3 videos, unless you've never seen my last 3 videos or you don't even know who I am, in which case, hi, hello, I'm Hannah Bowers, and this is my channel where I talk about all things creative and personal growth. And in this video, I'm here to check in on the first month of 2023, and let me tell you, my friends, that month really put me through the ringer, as they say. I was challenged, I was tested, I was pushed to my limit and beyond, but I made it. I'm here, I'm out on the other side, and that is what I want to talk about in this video, which will also explain the backstory on where I physically am and how I got here. So we are skipping the creative projects in this video because too many big life things happened for me to just talk about, yeah, I wrote a song with my friend and it sounds really good and it was really fun and we learned a lot, and like, that all happened for sure, but my life was about a whole lot more than just creating art this month. It was about creating my ideal world. I think people are very familiar with the idea of creating in terms of art or projects. We create a song, a movie, a sculpture, a script, and for that same reason, a lot of people don't see themselves as creative. But what both sides of that are kind of missing is the idea that we are all innately creative and we are literally creating constantly. And not in terms of art. I'm talking about creating memories, creating relationships, creating moments, creating your surroundings, creating the life that you lead. You created this. Look around you right now and you will see the world that you created. But you didn't create it by yourself either. You co-created this reality. That couch that's sitting there in your living room right now wasn't created by you, right? It was designed by someone and manufactured by some other people and delivered. All of those people created that couch in your living room. That is just a small example of how your whole life is a co-creation. Now, take that small example and extend that out to the rest of your entire life and your world. How does that world make you feel? Now, there's a complicated layer that I want to address real quick, which is when we look out at the world, we often see more than just our personal world, right? We see the outside world. And it's very easy to look at that outside world and see it as a dark, terrible, painful, awful place. Awful things are happening all the time. That is so true. But because all those terrible things happen, that makes it all the more important to create our world the best we can. Because our world has an effect on the greater world. Allow me to explain. Imagine spending time with someone that you love, someone that makes you feel really good, someone that motivates you, that energizes you. That person's world is influencing your world. And you can see that in the emotions that you feel, and maybe they even inspire you to take certain actions or make certain decisions. They are influencing you. And that can happen in a greater way with our world's effect on the whole entire world. And this happens with people that have so much power and so much influence, right? So much money, so much authority. So if those people are in charge of creating this world that you see out there that you don't like, just hello, it makes it so much more powerful to claim our own world and really create it intentionally. I'm gonna try to take a sip of this. It looks really hot. Almost too hot, but like almost just right. So I want to share how I experienced this major life lesson this past month in January. And I'm going to take you back to a pivotal moment that would be New Year's Eve, the way that we kicked off 2023. And I did not kick it off in the best way, my friends. I was sick. I was alone, I was in bed, I was having problems with my physical house. That made my house a not awesome place to be alone and sick in bed. I was not good. It was a low. It was a low. And I was watching YouTube and I stumbled across this video from After School. It's a channel that I like, and they were sharing a lecture from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who, if you don't know, he talks about a lot of things: spirituality, neuroscience, psychology, self-development, all those kinds of things. And this was a video about the idea of survival versus creation. And he talked about survival as a way of reacting to the world around us, often leaving us in a kind of stress response way rather than being in charge of things around us, which is this other side of creation. Are you in charge of your world? Are you in charge of your decisions and how they make you feel? And I was sitting there listening to this lecture, seeing how I was really in a state of survival in that moment, because I was just hanging on by a thread. And I said, whatever this world is, I did not create this, and I would like to create something very, very different. And in that moment, one of my best friends called me and she gave me one of those friendly, like, get your shit together talks, like, look at what you're doing to yourself. Look at what you're doing to yourself. You're sitting here in this house that you have lived in for 5 years that you no longer really like living in anymore, and you've been talking about wanting to move in with your girlfriend for a really long time, and I think that that would make you feel better, and why aren't you doing anything about it? I just decided kind of on that phone call, okay, I am done with living in this house and living this life, and I am going to move in with my girlfriend. And then the next day I kind of woke up so inspired, and I was still kind of sick, but it was a really sunny, beautiful day, New Year's Day, kind of have that feeling of like new beginnings. And I was like, this is the first day of the rest of my life. I ended up going on a pretty long walk that made me feel a lot better, actually. And I just had this moment with myself where I decided that I wanted to create a life of joy, beauty, love, and abundance. That just is what came through to me. It just felt so clear and so true and so right. I said, yeah, that's the life that I want to live. And decided in that moment, I am going to commit to living that life. So that was how I learned this lesson of survival versus creation and implemented it. And that explains why I'm now here in this room, which is the creator studio. We haven't decorated anything, as you see. We just kind of have some instruments laying around, and we will turn this whole spot into such a vibe. But beyond myself, I witnessed this kind of realization in so many of my friends and my coaching clients as well. Kind of a collective awakening to, oh, I deserve way more than what I have in front of me. I no longer wish to accept this reality that I am living in. I've been stuck, I've been here, I've been in the muck. I don't like this world. I don't like this reality. I don't like this job. I don't like this house. I don't like this relationship, whatever it is. People were waking up to the idea that they wanted more and they deserved more. And that's a big part that I want to hone in on too, this idea of what you deserve, which reminds me of that famous quote from Perks of Being a Wallflower, that we accept the love that we think we deserve. So in that same way, we accept the reality that we think that we deserve. The catch is, if we think that we're not deserving of good things, which is a lot of us, we struggle with our self-esteem and our worthiness, our reality affects us, and we say, I wanna feel better than this. I feel depressed and anxious all the time, and I like hate the world around me, and I don't think that I deserve better. And then we kind of get spirally and stuck in that. And it takes a really big, powerful shift, and you don't necessarily have to believe it right away, but just opening up to the idea of like, what if I deserved better? What would that look like? What would that feel like? Entertain that idea, open up to it. Because I've been there. I've been like, I'm the worst human alive. I deserve nothing. But I don't think that perspective would give me the world that I have now, which I really love. And not that it means anything coming from me, although it might. I know it has to come from you. You do deserve better. I think everybody is born deserving good things, and then we kind of get lost along the way. But I think you are innately worthy of a good life. That's just my 2 cents. So I want us to do a little practice together right now to do a check-in on how your world is doing. So you can write these things down in a journal or your computer. You can just go in your head and think about these things. But I want you to envision your world, your home, your career, your relationships, how you're spending your time and energy, every single thing that is in your world. And ask yourself, are these people, places, things, experiences aligned with what you actually want and what you think you deserve? This is related to the practice that we did in the video on creative planning and adaptability. It's important to ask yourself, is this world that I'm living in something that I created for myself, or something that somebody else created, or something that a past version of myself created that, like myself, that I have outgrown now? Who created this world? Who's in charge of this world? Is it you? we want it to be you. And then I invite you to finish this phrase for yourself, as I did for myself on New Year's Day. I create a world of blank. I filled those blanks with beauty, love, joy, and abundance, but you can fill it with anything. It can be as specific as you want. It doesn't have to be kind of those more like emotional themes that mine was. Whatever serves you. So yours could be, I create a world filled with long mornings and meaningful work and profound, inspiring relationships. Or I create a world of awesome playlists that I created. I create a world of making art every day. I create a world of drinking tea whenever I want. I just encourage you to really dream big with finishing this sentence and go in and see what feels the best for you. And as you go forward with your life, you can use that sentence as a sort of compass to guide your decision making and ask yourself, is this something that aligns with the world I want to create? Or does it align with somebody else's world and I'm just following along with it? And if this is the world that you want, what will you need to start doing, to stop doing, and to continue doing? And then connect your ideal personal world to your ideal outer world. How we talked about at the beginning that if you see a terrible world out there, which I know I do, I connect my ideal world and my purpose, that vision, with how I see it positively influencing the world around me. You can make that connection. And I've seen people kind of struggle with that because they think pursuing their dreams or their art is selfish. It does not have to be selfish. There is always room to connect what you're doing with the world around you. It's just finding what that point of connection is. If you make dance music, for example, and you say, how can I make dance music in the time of the apocalypse? Well, the apocalypse is gonna need dance music because people are gonna wanna dance when they feel like it's the end of the world. People are gonna need that. Or how dare I write this story that's so personal to me and my life? Isn't that like narcissistic or something? Not necessarily. Maybe your story is actually deeply relatable to somebody else, and when they read it, they feel seen and they say, I had no idea that anybody else in the world felt that or thought those things or went through those same things that I did. So you don't have to make your art about saving the whales and donate all your proceeds to a nonprofit. You can just be yourself and do the thing that you love the most. Find that point of connection to how it's going to positively influence the world around you. And if it helps, start small. Don't think about how is my art going to affect somebody in a country that's 10,000 miles away. How far is 10,000 miles? Is that realistic? Just start with your community around you, people that are like you, people that live near you. If you need help thinking of your way to connect what you're doing with the world around you, ask a friend or ask your pal on the internet. HB, that's me. So give these practices a try if you are so inclined, and I would love to hear what you come up with, and know that I support whatever your goals are and whatever vision that you have for the world that you want to live. I want that world for you. So that's my check-in for January. As I said, it was a little bit hard to focus on anything creative because I was so focused on moving, which takes a lot of time and energy. And I just want to say that for any artists out there that struggle with something going on in your foundation, kind of affecting your artistic world, it's okay to take some time to just focus on what you need to get by before getting back into your art. I don't want you to feel pressured to create your art because you have to, because you're an artist, because probably not the best art is going to come from a place of pressure. You know, the best kind of creativity is just allowed and passed through and created with love, not stress. Take your time. This is me giving you the permission to take your time, whether it is finding a new job or moving or taking care of some health things. Do what you gotta do, and it's totally fine. There's no rush. If this is how 2023 started for me, then I honestly have really high hopes for the rest of the year, which I will be documenting on this YouTube channel. How amazing is that? I would rate this month a WTF, like caps with a lot of Fs, out of 10. But I feel like if that's where you start, like there's nowhere to go but up. But I know it's gonna be a very intentional year because I am committed to this resolution of mine of creating a world of beauty, love, joy, and abundance. Wish me luck in my next chapter, my friends, and I wish you luck on yours, and I will see you in the next video. I hope to be sharing some more creative stuff, but we'll see what life has in store for me in February. So February. February. Can anyone truly pronounce that word? I can't even pronounce any words now. Can anybody pronounce February without feeling a little bit anxious? Let me know in the comments below. A lot of questions that I have. Take care of yourselves. Keep creating the world of your dreams. Peace out.